So today we are going to discuss about identifying our divine guide. This discussion will lead us into saints and sinners. Both aspects we'll cover today. One time devotees came to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, sir, Swamiji, there is a very famous philosophy nowadays. There is one very famous philosopher, and he has given such a philosophy, everybody is very attractive, it is getting a lot of popularity. So Srila Prabhupada said, okay, what is philosophy? So he said, this person's philosophy is what? He's saying, don't follow anyone. That is his philosophy. Don't follow anyone. And people are liking it very much. They're very happy about it. No, don't follow anyone. That is his philosophy, gaining a lot of momentum, gaining a lot of popularity. And Prabhupada heard that. So it seems even the devotees who were speaking and informing Srila Prabhupada, they themselves were very excited about it. Don't follow anyone. A nice philosophy. Don't follow anyone. Srila Prabhupada gave a one-line reply to this. You know what Prabhupada said? Srila Prabhupada said, why are you following him? Because if you don't follow anyone, then you don't follow this personality also who gave the philosophy. And that means you don't follow his philosophy. And that means you should not follow anyone. That means you follow someone. So it leads to contradiction. And if you follow him, so then you're not following his philosophy. So if you are not following him, then you are following his philosophy. So it's a contradiction both ways. If you follow him, then you are not following him. So why do you follow him? So don't follow him also. That means there's no much weight. It's self-contradictory philosophy. So Srila Prabhupada was pointing out to a very important thread which is hidden behind this. So behind this propaganda of not following anyone, what this person wants to say, don't follow anyone other than me. So that philosophy is not don't follow anyone. Actual philosophy, don't follow anyone else, just follow me. That is the only philosophy. Right? So, the Shastras, various scriptures, have a lot of emphasis on divine guidance. In fact, Srila Prabhupada begins only the chapter purpose, in the very beginning purpose, Srila Prabhupada is writing. In 2.7, Srila Prabhupada writes that everything in this material world is a source of perplexity for everyone. Everything in this material world, source of perplexity for everyone. Any moment, everybody is perplexed. Nowadays people are perplexed, how will they get LPG, how will the cooking happen? And some people are saying that, I don't know, day before night my parents called me. 10:30 in the night, I was about to sleep, I just happened to pick up the call. Then they were saying, you know what's happening in the world now, the LPG is not there, the cars will not run, the flights will become costly, the trains will become costly, electricity will become costly, this will happen, that will happen, that will happen. I told them, okay, take rest. It's okay. So, why is everything in this world is a source of perplexity for everyone? And people are so there is so much of restlessness. Any situation, any single day brings about so much of restlessness and so much of complexity. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada is saying here that it behooves an intelligent person to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual guide, spiritual master, and learn from him the way of action, and learn from him clarity, clear vision, long lasting vision. This comes in the purport to Karpanya Doshupahata Subhava 2.7. Karpanya Doshupahata Subhava Prichami Tvam Dharma Samoda Cheta Yachreyasyaam Nishchitam Brohi Tanme Shishyasте Ham Shadhi Mam Tvam Prapannam. So Arjuna is telling, because of this miserly, because of this bewilderment and confusion, this has gone so much deep inside my heart, it has weakened my whole system. And I have been completely racked with this miserly weakness. Everything is clouded in front of me. I'm not able to understand. My whole existence is eaten away by this miserly weakness. In this condition, he's saying, I'm definitely taking shelter of you, O Lord. Now I come to you with great hopes, taking shelter of you. Don't consider me your friend. Now you please consider me a student. You please instruct me. Shadhi Mam Tvam Prapannam. I take shelter of your lotus feet. So we see this point in Bhagavad Gita is the turning point where Arjuna was in such a position. Even before the battle, only lost the battle. No failure before exam. That is what Arjuna was. This is what mental stress and depression can lead one to. Person will not struggle only. This is what mode of ignorance leads one to also. A person doesn't fight only. Before that only he is finished. Mode of ignorance like that. So we see, but the turning point is Arjuna took shelter of Krishna. And therefore it is said, Srila Prabhupada explains in one of the purports in Bhagavad Gita, that one who has got a bona fide spiritual master, for such a person there is all perfection. Because such a person will get to know, understand everything, and in due course of time, such a person can achieve the perfection of life because he has got a right spiritual master, the right guide. So now the Vedic system of knowledge, the Vedic system of gaining knowledge, or the Vedic system describes that okay, there are these two modalities of gaining knowledge: the inductive method and the deductive method. The inductive method is I will experiment myself, I'll find out myself, I'll figure it out myself, I'll try it out myself. So who is the teacher? I am the teacher of myself. So that's inductive method. And deductive method is accepting from authority, a bona fide authority. That is deductive method. Now, what does the material world? What does now which method is the material world emphasize upon? Inductive method. Or people say do whatever you like, isn't that? There is no barometer or benchmark to what is right, what is wrong. Whatever you think is right, and what you think is wrong is wrong. Take it up. That is what people say. That okay. So there is too much of undue weightage to oneself, and people say this is freedom. Hey, I'm free to make my own choices of my life. People say this is freedom. Hare Krishna. Now the question is, or therefore the point is, so in one sense, and then people say deductive approach, oh, you just have to follow and you will be told and you have to do it, and where is the fun in that? But suppose you're supposed to do things on your own, there is fun, no? You have to figure it out on your own, there is fun, there is adventure, there is thrill. You know. But you just have to follow, there is no thrill, there is only monotonous, is it not? Sometimes people say like that. Now, what do you think? Is it true or is there any flaw in this?
That inductive means thrill adventure and deductive means monotonous. Just try to follow. What is the thrill? Just try to follow whatever is told. What is the thrill? But inductive means there is thrill, there is adventure, and yes.
Like when we did JMD, if we did not follow our teacher, then maybe we will end up in doing something bad like drinking, smoking, something like that, and wasted our 2 years. But as we followed the relative mind that we followed our teachers. So now we are in IIT.
Yeah.
So similarly, if one chooses the relative mind, then he will end up in getting destructive things. But one if one chooses the elective mind and follow somebody, then he will end up getting like things for eternal or like for long.
Yes. Okay. So give a nice example that okay, you followed the teachers, you could crack the J exam. If one doesn't follow anyone, it's very difficult to crack. Very difficult to crack it. So it's a deductive approach which take us forward. Yes.
You will destroy your energy different path and you will not be able to reach your aim by applying to you have a clear path, clear vision, and you go step by step.
Correct. Yeah, because so the inductive approach will waste a lot of time and the probability of success very less. So okay, that's a good point. Any other points? One time I was in primary school and one of my relatives was teaching me what is spirituality. And she said there are two paths. She said there are two paths. One is a higher one is a lower one. Which one you want? I said higher one. I said yes, shabash. So what is the higher one? So she said this, this bhakti, this is a lower path. And I said why? I was in class 3 or class 4. I was in primary school. Small. I was small. I believe it was class 3 or class 4. Grade 3, grade 4. It's age 8 or 9. She said, Bhakti is. I said, why is a lower path? She said, there's no fun in that. I said, why there is no fun in that? They're doing kirtans, it's good. I said, no, there is no fun in that. Because he said, there's somebody's already laid out a path and you just have to walk. And you used to walk. That's it. What is the fun in that? I said, oh. So what is the higher path then? So the higher path is that nobody has made a road for you. You make a road yourself. And at times to come, thousands of people will come and follow on that road. But you have made the road. Interesting, no? Even at that time, I didn't like it. I didn't have much knowledge to counteract it, but I didn't like it. So I said, okay. So I had to make the road. She said, yes. That is the adventure, that is the thrill. So this is pretty much an inductive approach when they say that okay, you follow your own road back, even in spirituality. But the problem is you may not land anywhere. You may not land anywhere. So later I understood actually that sometimes people talk too much about creativity, independence, and so on and so forth. See, for something to be called as an adventure, there is a prerequisite. You know what is the prerequisite? Like you did something, and there were a lot of uh, unforeseen situations, and you were not knowing what to do, what not to do. It was tense, it was intense, and all that. But the whole experience will be called as an adventure only if one wins. Is it not? It's called as an adventure. Like somebody got lost in the forest, the mobile range is not coming, and the wild animals, there are snakes, the anacondas, whatever, and one comes back, clicking very close-up photographs of anacondas and lions and all that, and then one may have some narrow, some death point encounters, and one is able to save oneself. One comes back, then one can say, okay, do an adventure. But there also there is a question mark. So something is very thrilling and very lively. Would one want to repeat it? You know? So, so unless something is a success, there is no question of calling it as an adventure. Whereas in this material world, in material life, we see it's not a single success story. Everybody is crying. Everybody is crying. People who are poor, they are crying because they are poor. People who are rich, they are crying also. People who are average, they are crying. People who are famous, they are also crying. So they are too famous. So they cannot roam around anywhere. Everybody in this material world keeps crying. So, in this way, we understand that. So, in this material world, there is no question of adventure because there is no success only. So, when it is no success, then we don't call it as adventure. We call it as a nightmare. Is it not? Like you're roaming around, and somebody is roaming around in some part, some place, and then he gets encountered with a ghost and all that. That's not adventure. It's a nightmare, is it not? It's a nightmare. So the inductive approach is a sure shot package to land up in a nightmare. So now we may say that now the point is the statement that okay, if you just follow what somebody is selling, where is the fun in that? But if you will understand, there is a sure shot fun in that. Like you are told that you will reach this milestone, if you do this much, you will reach this milestone, and you do it and you reach the milestone. Do you not like it? Do you not like it? Like somebody tells you, okay, every day in the weekday you study 3 hours and weekends you study 5 hours, you will get 8.5 and you get 8.6. Will you not like it? Or you say it's monotonous. Someday I'll study 3 hours, someday for 5 days I'll not study anything. Let it be, some probabilistic algorithms. Then probabilistic algorithms, at least probabilistic algorithms will not lead you to 9 point and so on. The probabilistic algorithm, then you calculate probability of a 5.5 or a 6.5 or a 7.1. That's all, is it not? Probability domain is only that much. But if one wants sure shot, then the deductive path. So what is good? Like in cooking, say for example, do you want to just try it out? Even if you are the only person in the home, will you just want to try it out yourself? Or let me just put anything and see what comes. नहीं है तो दोबारा बना लेंगे. Would any of us will opt for that option? Even for ourselves, will not do that. Is it not? How much time will waste? How much time will waste? Is it not? So, immediately one will try to download a recipe, see some video, call mother, call elder sister, call somebody, and say, "Arey, abhi, this is the state. What should I do? What process? Be well acquainted, and then so now you're following a recipe. You've seen it. Now you've seen the mother cooking. Now you have the recipe also with you. Hey, Shri Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Maharani, Sudarshan Maharaj, Shri Prabhupada ki. Yeah. Now you're following the recipe, and then the offering comes. You offer to the Lord, and now it is prasad, and you are taking it, and it is very tasty. Is it monotonous? That's the point. Is it monotonous? It gives a sense of achievement. Same thing Prabhu was giving example of JE. Like you are told by your professors, okay, like sometimes they give some funda that okay, solve some 50 problems of maths, you can crack maths every day. 30, 40 questions, 50 questions. And you're doing it and you can crack it. So there is a lot of so one is going on a guided path. One knows that okay, these are the milestones which are there, and one by one you achieve those milestones. And doesn't that give confidence? Doesn't that give a boost up? Doesn't that give energy? Doesn't that give thrill? That's a short way to get thrill, is it not? Rather than landing up in a nightmare situation. And you see, more so, inductive approach is very deadly for life per se. Because, see, it's not like writing a computer program. Even if you write wrongly, in the second attempt, third attempt, no, in 10 days' time, you can run it. Is it not? But the problem with life is, whatever amount we have invested in hit and trial, it won't come back. Is it not? The ultimate total amount of time what we have in this life is very limited. Therefore, when it comes to life, guidance is all the more required. Is it not? You're doing a drama, and if you don't do nicely, you can repeat it, no problem. Re-record it, no problem. If you're giving a YouTube lecture or a YouTube clipping and a talk, you can redo it. No problem. 5 times you can do, 10 times you can do. But life you cannot redo. That's a problem. How do we redo life? So we'll end up in a mistake. Many times the mistake is not, to make up for the mistake is not so easy. Like some people 11, 12, they don't study. Can they make up for it? Is it easy to make up for it? Somebody doesn't study enough. So they can no, so their future will not go anywhere beyond the local university in the town, is it not? But then but then there is so much of a band gap. Then there's so much way behind. There is a question of making up for it. Like some people don't study in IIT also, and can they make up for it? Once you pass out with a 6 point, there's a gulf of a difference, is it not? Pass out 9 point, 6 point, no job, and here's 25 lakh job. How do you make up? Very difficult, is it not? So, in the same way, we see that in life, all the more hit and trial is lethal because one lands up in a mistake. To rectify the mistake, because you cannot rewind it, you cannot redo it, you cannot repeat it, is it not? So, therefore, in life, all the more deductive mindset is very much required. Now, Shastras speak a very beautiful terminology. What the Shastras are saying is that there are two categories of people: Brahmanas and Kripanahas. Brahmana, say the definition of Brahmana is Brahmacharanti iti Brahmana. One whose, what is Brahman? One whose consciousness is absorbed in spirit, in the spiritual domain, is a Brahmana. Such a person is always far-sighted. Now the Shastras say that the moments of our life are our wealth. Because those moments will not come back again. Chanakya Pandit says, 1 second of time when it is lost, even if you pay millions of dollars, it cannot come back again. Therefore, 1 second of time is more valuable than millions of dollars. You see currency valuation, na? The valuation of $1 is 90 rupees, is it not? The valuation of €1 is more than 100 rupees something, 200 around something, The valuation of one moment of time is millions of dollars. So valuation means, okay, if you're saying, okay, no, $1 to is 90 rupees. So if I pay 9,000 rupees, I should get $100. Is it not? Right? Because the valuation 90 rupees. Right? So I should get $100. Is it not? So now one, if you say okay, valuation of one moment of time is X number of dollars, then I should pay X moment of dollars and I can get back one moment of time. Is it not? I can buy it back again, top up of life, right? But that's not possible. That means one moment of life is more valuable than millions of dollars. Currency valuations, currency valuations. So the Brahmana invests his time, his life, in long lasting, invests his life, his time in the spirit, the spiritual energy. So he's far sighted. Whereas the Kripana wastes his wealth. That means his time of life. So time invested in illusory activities is a waste of time. Is it not? That is the meaning of a Kripana. A Kripana invests his time, his life in activities of sense gratification which are flickering, which are illusory. So therefore, at the end of it, the Kripana doesn't have anything much in their lives. And that is why Srila Prabhupada says that everybody, when it comes to the old age, everybody is crying that they have wasted their lives. They have wasted their lives because where they were running after is not giving them any help now. It's all lost. It's all temporary. So now what happens is that with Brahmana Kripana is a nice discussion which comes. It comes in the purport of 2.7 also. Karpanya dosha pahata sudava. It comes in that purport also. Now, Saradeshampu gives a nice story. Shampu says that okay, there was one time one gentleman was working in a clerical position. So his name was Budhuram. So the gentleman Budhuram, he had a car. This was a 1850 model. Some 1850 model car. It was very international, very high standards. So this car was not auto start, it was dhakka start. and time to time it would reload dhakka processing, So like that. And even when this car would go, it would go very international speed. So it was so much that cycles would overtake. So like that was. This Bhutara, he was driving this car very diligently for decades and decades. He was driving this car, and he was very much used to it and very much comfortable to it. That's what it was. Now what happened is that all of a sudden he got a lot of pension money and all that. Sometimes this sixth pay commission, seventh pay commission, and all that. And whenever the commission comes, a lot of money comes, to the employees. So something like that. So he got or some we pension money or PPF, matured or something like that of 20, 30 years of service and all that. Then they get a lot of money. So he got a lot of money. So he bought a new car. Now this was a very sleek car. But now the next day when he was driving this car, he was driving the sleek car also at speed of 10, 15, 20, So that sleek car can go at 80, 100 also kilometers per hour. But he was still going at 20 and telling the cycles to go ahead. Why? For 2-3 decades he has got used to slow driving. Is it not? So similarly we will see, so what is this Khatara Gad? This Khatara Gadi is all animal species of life, they are all Khatara Gadi bodies. Those bodies are very Khatara. So it doesn't start much, there's no much intelligence, there's no much brain substance, there's no much long lasting thinking power. The person is only attracted to instincts. So now after so many hundreds and thousands of lifetimes, person gets a human body which is like a very sleek car. It's like a Benz, can run very fast, can run at 200 kilometers per hour also. But the person is driving in the same way. Khatara types. This is what the Shastras are telling we should not do with our human form of life. We should not drive it like a Khatara. Anytime it stops. So human body, one may say, okay, how is it Khatara, where it stops? Yes, the human, the animal bodies are like that only. You see, instinctive body. Now, so animals, every now and then they get, their gadi gets stopped. Where? Wherever they get sense gratification, immediately they stop. Immediately they get hooked there. Is it not? Food, eating, sleeping, mating, defending basically. No, eating, sleeping, basing, no, mating, defending. Now, if we drive our human body also in that same khatara way, anytime we get object of sense gratification and sensual gratification, then immediately one gets attached, one gets hooked, one stops there. That means we are not, we're driving a Benz like a khatara, Fiat khatara, something like that. Interesting, no? So therefore, the Shastra is saying that don't be a kripana, don't be a miser. If you don't invest money, money gets lost. But you should know where to invest. Like suppose there is a bank, very famous bank, and that bank has declared, okay, after 6 months we are going bankrupt. Rebol. And we think, okay, very nice bank, no? This bank, Diwala bank. And we go and invest all our earnings in that. Is it intelligent? Is it intelligent? They've already declared 6 months they're going bankrupt. And still we are investing in 5 years plan with them. It's very unintelligent. Now it's okay. This is not such a ridiculous analogy, but this is what people are doing. All avenues of sense gratification are like the Diwala bank. They won't last. They're flickering. They're doomed to fail. But we think, no, 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 let me invest in them. So therefore, one should not be a kripanaha. Now, where from bewilderment is arising? Arjuna is saying, okay, so I got bewildered, but where is the bewilderment coming from? See, this is a very nice principle. Attachment leads to indecision. Why is Srila Prabhupada saying everything in this world is a source of perplexity for everyone? Where is the perplexity? How does it come? Because of attachment, asakti ke karan. Indecision comes. Like say for example, making judgment. Is making judgment easy or difficult? To judge. Easy. So what is there to judge? You understand what is right, you sign off on that. Is it not? You hear all sides, you will understand what is right, what is wrong. So it's not very difficult in that sense. And anybody may say, even a judge may say, okay, it's not very difficult, okay, fine. But now for this judge, suppose his own brother is standing. And everybody in the whole world knows that his brother is guilty. And then there is a prosecution happening. Now, can he pass judgment? It's easy or difficult? Now it's difficult. भाई है मेरा, गोद में खिलाया है, हाथ से खिलाया है, फांसी दे देंगे? इतना आसान है? Not right. Is it not? So no indecision. Indecision comes from attachment. आसक्ति के कारण indecision आता है. There is attachment. Because of that attachment, the indecision comes. So person is bewildered. Now what to do? Therefore, we need guidance so that we can cut, by guidance, by knowledge, the ropes of attachment are cut. That is the point. The next principle which is explained is that there are multiple levels of dharma. In any given situation, it's not that only one principle of dharma applies. There are multiple principles of dharma. In a given position, which level to apply? There is bewilderment. ये क्या? ये तो ठीक है ना? It's not very easy. Like say for example, In general, one of the principles of dharma, it says, okay, matra deva bhava, pitra deva bhava. So pitra deva bhava, let's focus on that. Pitra deva bhava is a nice principle. It's a good principle. Pitra deva bhava, worship your father. No? Be very humble, respectful, worshipful. Father is worshipable, basically, that's what it means. Pitra deva bhava. Now, suppose a boy in the family, and in the evening is going home, and then the night he goes home, he's done his tuition and all that, now he's returning home. And he sees that, okay, his father is on the road only, outside the house only, or the gate of the house. The father is beating the mother and the sister, physically beating, abusing, beating, shouting, yelling, physically beating. What should the son do? Should he go and fold his hands and take the dust of his father's feet, saying Pitra Deva Bhava? What should he do? Pitra Deva Bhava? Hmm? Yeah, but protection means what? Yeah, so but protection would mean he may have to. So, if he simply keeps taking the dust of his father's feet and keep putting on his head, he cannot protect his mother and sister. Is it not? Right? He may have to push his father. May have to be no, may have to show physical strength also. Use physical strength also. May have to shout back also. Is it not? Like that. So, but then he's not following Pitra Deva Bhava. So protect the mother is one principle, but Pitra Deva Bhava is another principle. And in this situation, what to apply? Right? This is an example of higher dharma, lower dharma. Is it not? Right? It's an example of higher dharma, lower dharma. And therefore we need guidance because otherwise we'll get thoroughly confused. What is higher principle? What is lower principle? In the Purana, there is a story which comes. See, one time there was a ruthless hunter. This hunter was chasing after a cow, kill the cow. The cow, she was running for her life. Running, running, running. She passed through a hermitage of a sage. Brahmana, basically a Brahmana. And hunter came, behind with his dagger and all that. Whatever. A Brahmana was asking, now the Brahmana is seeing, oh, there is a hermitage. So he's asking, hey, Brahman, where is the hunter is asking, hey, Brahman, where is the cow? Where is the cow? He's asking. Which direction the cow went? So now Brahmana, there is a principle, Brahmana means one has to follow, one has to be truthful. Satyam, Astheya is one of the principles of Brahmanism. Satya is one of the principles. So Brahmana has to be truthful. Now, but then if he is truthful, the cow will be killed. So she should speak the truth, she should not speak the truth. But Brahman means Satya. Yeah, to protect the cow is a higher principle. So in this Puranic story, this Brahmana, what he does, he speaks the truth. He says, I am Brahmana, what can I do? And then the cow gets killed. And then the Brahmana gets lot of sinful reactions. The Gauhatya, sinful reactions he gets. I was following Brahmanism. बेवकूफ क्लास 6th का आंसर क्लास 10th में लिखोगे तो यही होगा ना. Is it not? Right? This is the point. So therefore we actually need guidance. So sometimes people are fearful of following a sadhu. They say, hey, तुम भी साधु बन जाओगे. Sometimes people say, sadhu baba ban jaoge, तुम भी बन जाओगे. Like sometimes some parents are very fearful. You tell them start practicing spirituality, they start being fear, hey, साधु बन जाएगा. अभी IIT में या हिमालय में चला गया, किधर है? Sometimes they become fearful like that. They feel like that. So there is a lot of fear. But if you try to see, See, just like we need help from a particular expert in various fields. If we have a health problem, we need an MBBS MD specialized. Is it not? If we have a legal problem, we need a lawyer. Similarly, if we have a mental problem, we need a sadhu. We have a vision problem, we need a sadhu. So the concept is that in a society, everybody has different contributions and we need it. What we want to be is independent of all that. We need everybody's help. Is it not? Do you need a doctor? Do you need a lawyer? Do you need a professor? Do you need an eye? But if you are going to an eye, you are associating with an eye, you can become nine. Right? So this fear is as illogical as that, is it not? Right? Every day now, if you're eating in the now you're taking prasad here, but somebody's eating in the mess and they're associating mess workers, will they become mess worker in their career? No. We need help of so many people. Of what role we want to play in the society, what contribution we want to do in the society is completely different from different array or the different range of help what we need. We need such a big range of help from so many people. And what we want to contribute in, that is only one thing, is it not? We need help from hundreds of people, from laborers, from engineers, from doctors, from managers, bankers, and so on. But we can only become one thing, na? That is so small. So therefore, similarly, sadhu is needed in society. One day somebody was challenging Radhanath Swami. He said, "Hey, what will happen to the world if everybody in the world becomes sadhu like you?" So Radhanath Maharaj asked him, "Okay, so what is your profession?" He said, "I am a lawyer." Radhanath said, "What will happen in the world if everybody becomes a lawyer like you?" Both ways the society cannot function, is it not? But will everybody become a lawyer? Will everybody in the world become a lawyer? Not at all. People have different interests. So will everybody in the world become a sadhu? Not at all. People have different interests. Is it not? So it's as clear as that, and therefore one need not worry so much. Sometimes people say, no, 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 no. But some sadhus, no, the sadhus sometimes they some sadhus they become corrupt at certain stage. Now later their scams are exposed and all that. They become cheaters at some stage. Later at they may not be initially cheaters from the beginning. May not be. But then over the time they become cheaters, corrupt. What to do? So then what to do? See, sadhu's responsibility is to connect us to God. If he is in a proper position, then the sadhu can connect us to God. No? So when we are connected to God, our spiritual curve is going on. So now even if the sadhu disconnect, but he has helped us connect to God. So whatever interaction we have had with God is not lost. Even though the sadhu, that particular sadhu is being corrupt. Like, one of our very nice devotees, Revatipati Prabhu. So he's one of my seniors who was here in the first initial very days, and because of him, all of us got a lot of spiritual. He was a student only, but he used to take care of us and help us in Kharagpur here. So he's in Pune now. He's one of the vice presidents of the Pune temple. So the devotee who brought Revatipati Prabhu to Krishna consciousness left Krishna consciousness after 1 year. And Prabhu is practicing still 26 years. Isn't that? So therefore the concept is the concept should not be taken. So what to do if you find some sadhus become corrupt? Okay, drop him off. Does it not happen in our day-to-day lives? Except for example, I want to charge my laptop. So I connect the wire to that socket. But then I see that socket not working. No charge coming, and I'm able to test. What should I do? Should I give up the principle of charging? Charging will never work in life. It is all bogus. No. What do we do? Change the socket. Okay, so there are three there. I can try another one. Another one. There are three here. Or two, four there. You know? I can try one of them. Something will work out? Is it not? So this is the point principle you have to understand. Anybody anywhere can become corrupt. When you find a corrupt person, we cannot blame the branch. They're corrupt doctors, they're corrupt lawyers, they're corrupt professors, they're corrupt relatives. So what if they are corrupt sadhus? Is it not? So that is why you see the Shastras, that is why are giving a set of qualification principles by which we can testify the bonaficity and the genuineness of a sadhu. Who is a sadhu? Sadhu is not a person who is having a beard, who is having a jata and all that. Who is a sadhu is determined by a given set of qualifications by which we can testify who is a sadhu, who is not a sadhu. Just like any socket, you first see whether its charging is happening or not. Right? And it's happening happily, we can connect and go on. It's not happening, you have to search out something else. In a similar way, the acceptance of a sadhu has to be based on an objective criteria, the qualifications. So these are four generic qualifications, and we can remember them by the word guru itself. The first one is general behavior. So the Shastras say, don't just that one has to watch the general behavior of the guru. So that is the guru is also called as Acharya. Acharya means one who teaches by his Acharan. Acharan means behavior. Like there is a saying, more things are caught than taught. So behavior. And one of the most important things which we should look into is speech. What is the subject matter of the speech? Like there is a saying, a fool is unidentified unless he starts speaking. So if you hear somebody 5 minutes, that might be a 100-hour prepared lecture. Each and every word may be like that. But if you hear somebody whole day, you can get to know everything about that person. Is it not? That okay, what is mindset? Because 5 minutes one can speak very choicest words. But 24 hours, can one remain on that level? Nah, one will come down to his real level. Is it not? The guru is an expert in following the Shastras, and he is an expert. He cannot speak on anything other than Krishna. So present any situation, we will always bring it to Krishna. Like one time Srila Prabhupada was in a taxi, and the taxi driver was driving very fast like that. So Srila Prabhupada started asking the taxi driver about cars and all that. Then Srila Prabhupada understood he was very much lover of Formula 1. Formula 1 racing, car racing. Formula 1 is a car racing event or something like that. So Prabhupada asked him, so he started talking and explaining things and concepts about Formula 1 racing. As this car driver. And the devotees over there in the car, they're looking at Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, what is spiritual in this? So they were a bit shocked because Srila Prabhupada was... and this man, the driver, was ecstatic because he was explaining so many things about Formula 1. So Prabhupada heard for some time. The driver was absolute ecstasy. He spoke so much about Formula 1. And then Srila Prabhupada asked him, so, are there any accidents in Formula 1? He said, hey, accident? People die, hand are lost, a leg is lost, head is lost, no, this is lost, that is lost. He started narrating cases. And then Prabhupada asked him, okay, so these people die, where do they go after death? And that person said, huh? ये तो कभी सोचा नहीं. Then Prabhupada started. What was Srila Prabhupada doing? Getting some general knowledge about Formula One? No, just opening up his heart so that he can give him Krishna consciousness. The general behavior of the Guru. Wow, that the Krishna consciousness oozing out of his existence. So the next point is understanding about God. कि विप्र के बन्यासी शूत्र का बनाए जय कृष्ण तत्ववेत्ता से गुरु है. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, Kiba Vipra Kabanasi. Who is the Guru? No, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining. Not one who is a Brahmana, not one who is a big scholar. Jai Krishna Tattvavetta Sai Guru Hai. One who understands the science of Krishna, such a person is a Guru. So Guru is not a Sanskrit scholar. Not that, okay, Guru, chalo ho jao. And the Guru starts Sanskrit mein, no? And shloka after shloka. No? So Guru is not a shlokacharya. He is not a shloka encyclopedia. He is not a Sanskrit encyclopedia. But the Guru understands the essence of the scriptures. That is the point. That is what is said called as Krishna Tattva with. So what is its practical implication? The practical implication is because the Guru understands the science of Krishna, the Guru can give directions to anyone how to go towards Krishna in any kind of setting, any kind of situation. So understanding, one who understands such a person can inject Krishna consciousness in any situation. Jai Krishna Tattvavetta Sai Guru Hai. So that's about the Guru's understanding of God. The Guru can see and relate the message of the Shastras in any situation. Therefore, any person, any amount of conditioning, the Guru can help him how to reach to Krishna. Because he has understanding about God. Just like in JE, there are two ways to understand a particular concept. One is to just mug up the formula and just see some solid examples to see where, how to apply the values of the formula. Fill up or something like that. So Guru is expert in applying the principle. So therefore the Guru, he can he can install the Shastras in our heart. So the Shastras no more remain theoretical, they become part of our life and can start living them. So that direction is given by Guru. See, just like I was giving example of J, if somebody just crams the formula, any new question comes, he'll not be able to solve. But the other person doesn't cram the formula, but understands how that formula is derived, what are the steps and all that. The next one is Guru's relationship with wealth, woman, and followers. So, what is the relationship? Is absolutely no relationship with wealth, woman, and followers. Absolutely no relationship with woman, with wealth, and followers. Ah, something comes, he can use it in Krishna's service, but he doesn't have any attachments. That is a sign of a guru. No relationship. One time, Alexander, he was following. He was marching with his army. He was going through forest, and they saw underneath a tree there was a sadhu sitting. Seeing this sadhu, Alexander became very happy. He said, "Ah, this is a man. I like him." So this man was in meditation. He was a sadhu, no, so he was meditating. And Alexander was trying to make all noises, this, that, to. For a long time, the sadhu was just meditating. He was just absorbed. After a very long time, the sadhu came back to external consciousness. He gave up his meditation. He was looking, and Alexander said, "I like, I like you so much. Whatever you ask, I'll give you." The sadhu looked at him and he said, "Oh, whatever I ask, you'll give me?" He said, "Are you ask anything, kingdom, my life, anything, I'm ready to give you." The sadhu said, "Okay, just do whatever you have told." He said, "Anything, I like your that your mannerisms are so attractive." So sadhu said, "Okay, what I wish from you is that you please move aside. Let the sunlight come. No, I just want the sunlight. So the Alexander couldn't do anything. He just moved aside. And the sadhu got the sunlight, he closed his eyes, and again he was in meditation. Guru has absolutely no relationship. This is called a sadhu. No attraction to wealth, woman, followers, and so on. No, no attraction. Because this wealth, woman, follower, these are the greatest stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual advance. Therefore, the Guru has no relationship with them. One time there was a very big donor in the Gaudiya Math. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj was giving a lecture. And this very big donor is giving a lot of donations to the temple, Gaudiya Math. So, but the Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj was giving class. And this gentleman, what he was doing, he was poking in between again and again. He was poking in between. He was poking and talking and giggling and all that. So he was creating a disturbance. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Maharaj understood what he's doing. And he looked at him and he said, "Babu, what do you think? You have purchased us with your money or what?" So he gave him a So why? Because he was giving donation. But what this man was thinking, I have given donation, I am the boss here. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Maharaj made it very clear. You think that you have purchased us with a donation. So he was not thinking, Srila Siddhanta Thakur Maharaj, he was not thinking, oh, let us keep this guy pampered, so he'll keep giving money. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Maharaj told what was needed for that person because he was a bit intoxicated. So what was needed for him was a little more clarity of vision. So this is the point, that just for the sake that funds keep coming, he was not just pampering. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj told a clear story. The fourth one is, what can a guru give us? What is his ashirvad? So guru does not give us cash, ash, and so on. Like sometimes people say, the Gurudev give blessings for what? My business flourishes, my chunu munu, get in Harvard, and I get some land, I get this, I get that. So they have this material, but for that a guru is not required. A guru's real ashirwad is by his blessings one can go from the material world to the spiritual world. That's the real ashirwad. So one time some industrialists, they were there in the train, and they saw Prabhupada, they came to Srila Prabhupada. They said, Swamiji, Ashirwad, Swamiji, Ashirwad. So Srila Prabhupada called his disciples. And Srila Prabhupada said, okay, I can give you my Ashirwad. But if I give you my Ashirwad, you'll become like them. And he was pointing out to his sannyasi disciples. No? So both of them, Swamiji, like that, they were just giggling and they ran away, both of them. So that's a Guru's Ashirwad. Ashirwad is he can take us to the spiritual world. That is his real blessing. कृष्ण से तुम्हारा कृष्ण दीते पारा तुम्हारा शक्ति आछे आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली धाई तब पाछे पाछे. So you can give Krishna to me because you have Krishna. आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली धाई तब पाछे पाछे. So now let's take this one up. Where does it start from? Okay, this one. Now the Shastras explain the saint and swindler, the definition is based on qualities what they exhibit. And nobody comes with a name tag saint inscribed on his forehead, or the swindler. Swindler means pakandi, cheaters, swindlers. So there are various kinds and categories of swindlers which are described in Bhagavatam. Vidharmi, Chaladharmi, like that. There are so there are 5 of them. Bhagavatam describes them. See, the first one is called a charlatan. So they are following some mundane principles which actually block the real religion to go forward. They're following some mundane principles, but they actually block the real religion to go forward. One of the typical examples of them is Vedvadaratah. Vedvadaratah is a Shastri term only, but it refers to those people who know Vedas, who can recite Sanskrit, but they are not following it. Like I remember one time on Pandit, 45 minutes he was speaking something, going on. I asked him, Pandit ji, iska matlab to batao jo bole ja rahe ho, na? And he was like, he didn't answer my question, na? So I said, shlok bata rahe ho, matlab bhi to batao. So he might himself not be knowing the meaning of it, na? So he's following something, but that is not actual religion, is it not? You got the point? This charlatan. Or following some subsidiary mumbo jumbo principle, the charlatan. Like sometimes people say, okay, spirituality means nationalism. Spirituality is not nationalism. Nationalism is related to the body. Right? So the person doesn't have much clarity. What is spiritual? What is mundane? So this is called a charlatan. Charlatan. There are many organizations in Haridwar. So that Baba, if you want to get darshan, there are various types of darshan. Window darshan, 5,000 rupees. Standing in front darshan, 10,000, 20,000 rupees. The Guru giving a smile and giving a blessing, some 30,000 rupees. He talking also, some 50,000 rupees like that. So like they're very tickets. The person looking like sadhu but not behaving like one. Right? So this is charlatan. The second one is a hoaxer. So they are making their own illusory principles. Hoaxers. Like some Baba is producing ash. So he's giving. The Srila Prabhupada would say, if ash has nothing to even take with what do you call it as bhakti. But if you want ash only, you can go to Shamshan. The Shamshan guard can give you much more ash. Is it not? Shamshan? Puri also there is Swargadwara, no? That by ash ही चाहिए तो Shamshan guard you can get a lot. Why only this much? Right? And some gurus they produce gold. And people say, oh, this is such a nice guru. But if they can produce gold only, why are they asking for donation then? बना लो अपना खुद का manufacturing. So these are hoaxers. They're making their own illusory principles. So they have hoaxers. See, this is the guru is doing Rasalila. Prabhupada said, this is not Rasalila, Rascal Lila. It's a Rascal Lila. So these are all, this is hoaxers. They are having their own illusory principles. The next is egoist. You know the meaning of this word, egoist? Ego means ego. Egoist means one who is too much ahankar. One who is having too much ego. Egoist. They are thinking they are the greatest. Sometimes in Kumbh Mela there are fights between one group of sadhus and another group of sadhus. What is the issue of the fight? How they took bath first. We are this pantha, we are greater. We have to take bath first. How can they take bath first and all that? There are fights, and sometimes in these fights they beat each other with chains. I have seen it with my own eyes. They are sadhus. I don't want to name any particular group or something like that. But then they are sadhus. What are they doing? They're beating each other with chains. Blood is coming out, and on what issue? Who will take bath first? इतना क्या है अब सपोज बातें स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 4 AM आप थोड़ा 2:30 उठ के आ जाओ डुबकी लगा के चले जाना उससे क्या प्रॉब्लम है why is so much of a problem is it not or you can just sit and chant when your turn will come you can go what is the problem egoist so in this category there are many false incarnations also who comes many people claim that they are God and all that many sadhus claim that they are God. One time one fellow was saying, I am God. Then his hand got fractured. Then people started asking, अरे आप तो God है, आपका hand कैसे fracture हो गया? बोले नहीं. In Ramayana, when I killed Ravana, my hand got fractured. When I killed Ravana, my hand got fractured. Ravana. When he killed Ravana, his hand. There was another fellow. He was traveling in a flight, and he used to say he's God. So one of our senior devotees, they were traveling. I don't know which Maharaj is traveling with him. So then he was saying, I'm God. So then this Maharaj was thinking how to teach him. And after some time he said, okay, I need to go to the washroom. He was in the window seat. So then Maharaj said, what happened? He said, no, call for nature. Washroom. So Maharaj said, no, no, you're God. You can tolerate. You can control. You're the supreme controller, the supreme proprietor. Control this. No? And this man, he was like, he was having a very tough time. Maharaj was not letting him go. I said, you're God. No? Unless you accept that you are not God, I'll not allow you to go. So finally he accepted, okay, okay, Baba, sorry, I'm not God. Let me go. So he went to the washroom, he eased himself out and came back, with relief. Then Maharaj asked him, so, you understood? We are not God? He said, nah, 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 nah. So then again he started saying, I am God. Now Maharaj said, "Arey, now you just accepted that you are not God. Now you again, what is this? No? He said, no, 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 that was my Leela. So many times, Prabhupada explains that, it's like any factory, it produces different products, no? On a like car factory is there, suppose, then the Hyundai factory, suppose car, so on the conveyor plate, many cars are coming out of the factory. So Prabhupada used to say, India is a factory, many gods are keeping coming out every day. Some new god, some new god, some new god. It's a god making factory. So many people say they are Kalki avatar. One time, Bangalore television, Karnataka TV, what they did is that they did a live interview. So they found out there are multiple Kalki avatars on this planet right now. So they jotted out 12 of them and they invited them for an interview into their studio. And they said it will be live interaction. So all 12 of them appeared. And they were not knowing the other 12 are also there, other 11 are also there. So there were 12 Kalkis sitting on a round table having a discussion. And it was that show had a very high, what do you call it as? TRP. Okay, TRP. Some TRP, something. So very high. The 12 Kalkis, who is the real one? Ridiculous. So, one time there was one such organization leader, and he started telling, okay, from one day got up from sleep and he started telling, okay, I am Bhagwan. So he came up with this idea, I am Bhagwan, new philosophy. So he got some following, but not so much as per his expectation. So some people had started coming, but he's Bhagwan. So, but it didn't went very nice. People didn't like it. They didn't give too much thumbs up on he's Bhagwan and then what all he's sharing. Yeah. So it didn't work out. It didn't got too much famous. So he thought, okay, I need to come up with a new idea. So he went behind the curtain, and after some days he came back, or some months he came back with another avatar. He said, okay, whoever I am is what I am. That is all fine. But my wife, she's Durga. Oh, that became famous. Like that. So sometimes, so see, I am not naming any organizations, and because we are not interested in pointing out to anyone, but we are just wanting to understand principles so that we should not get cheated and lost. That's the whole point. The next one is abuser. Abuser uses word jugglery to bewilder and fool people. Very complicated word jugglery. It's an abuser. Is playing with the innocent faith of people, just giving them word jugglery and misguiding them. He's an abuser. So abuser. The last one is transgressor. So transgressor are people who, in the name of spirituality, are doing sinful activity. They're breaking the principles. Like you see these sadhus, they're into intoxicants. How can a sadhu be an intoxicant? So he's a transgressor. This is an example of a transgressor. Transgressor. Like some gurus, sometimes they tell their female disciples one day, they say, "Oh, I am Krishna." And you're like, "Gopi, let us do Raslila, let us do enjoy." You know? So very nasty, very dangerous. After many years, they play down the faith of their disciples like that. These are examples of transgressors. Yeah. So then in this, okay, so then not just to revise, then who is a genuine person? No? So genuine person is cool. The genuine guru is always cool. What do you mean by cool? He chants the Hare Krishna Maha mantra. And you always see him chanting. He obeys the Shastra. No? So he obeys the Shastra. He occupies in devotional service. He's always engaged 24 hours in the mission of Krishna. And then he can offer liberation to us. So real and genuine guru is cool. He's cool. Okay, so I think let's stop here for today. Real and genuine guru is cool. So we discussed two understandings. One was the general behavior understanding of guru, relationship with wealth, women, followers, and what he can usher. And the second one we did was cool. He chants the holy name. He occupies in devotional service, and then he liberates us. Cool. Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so we'll start Prasadam. And if you have any questions, you can take up during Prasadam. Questions and discussions.